Welcome to Girls on Fire.
Hey guys, we are back with another episode of Girls on Fire. And no, you are not in a confused situation right now. We have our friend Allison Woolford here with us today, and we're so excited to have Allison. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely, it's a pleasure.
Oh no, we are so happy. When you said yes, we're like, yay!
That's who we were referring about you when we had the episode with Hawk. We were like, we know who we're gonna ask next, but we don't want to tell everyone. We had been talking about having you on once we started this. We're like, we have to get
Okay.
our YP of the year as our first YP.
Well, I'm happy that you all have decided to come and talk to me.
So Allison, if I mean I know a lot of people know who you are. You've been in the industry for a while, but go ahead and tell everybody what you do, what hospital you work at.
Okay. So I work at Duke University Hospital, which is the biggest hospital out of the three hospitals for the Duke Health System. And I am a biomedical equipment specialist, is my title. And I manage the team of four other guys for the operating rooms. So we are part of what they call the perioperative team.
Okay, so if you're part of the perioperative team, have you heard of our OR Today before?
Yes, I have. And yes, I do read it.
Not even that. I'm like, should we be featuring you in there too?
Megan's going straight sales.
She is.
That is awesome. I know you also work with Ben, right?
Yes, he is my, I always get his title wrong. Senior executive, senior director. He's the big boss.
Well, the reason why I brought him up is because you guys had, I think we're like neck to neck in the YP of the year. It was so sweet. I remember him telling everybody to vote for you and like get Allison in there. But we love Ben. He was one of our 40 under 41 time too, but he's great.
Yes, we were actually in that group together.
Right.
And that might have helped push me over the edge to come over to Duke.
We love some friendly competition. That's the best way to do it.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely between me and Ben is absolutely always like that.
Well, we're so happy to have you, and we want to get right into it. We had already told Allison about our Moments of Joy segment. We're going to start with that today, and then we are going to get into all about Allison. Kristen and I have a bunch of questions for her, so we're excited for you all to get to know Allison a little bit better, and I'm sure we're going to learn something that we don't know about you today, Allison, as well. So, do you have your Moments of Joy, Allison, for today?
Well, I will have to say that my moment of joy uh, it was probably last week. My son turned 16.
Ah,
First of all, I didn't even know that your son was that old. That like is crazy.
that is crazy.
Yep, he turned 16, so he does have a vehicle, so he's
I was
learning how
gonna
to
say,
drive.
stay off the road.
And he finished his junior year, so he's going to be an upcoming senior. And we're currently in process of getting him into the Air Force Academy.
Wow. Okay.
That's
So
so exciting.
I was gonna say he's got a lot going on. That is so exciting. Did y'all do anything special for his 16th birthday?
No, not really. He really didn't want anything. He just wanted money, so he got money. And then he wanted sushi, so he likes sushi, so got him some sushi.
Money, sushi. That's all I want too.
Sounds like me. That's literally all I want in this life is unlimited tuna rolls and money. So
Hey.
that's amazing. Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Good. That's a good one. Kristen, do you have one, or you want me to go?
I think I have one. Well, okay. So my moment of joy, of course, as usual, I panicked when we were telling Allison that we are going to start with moments of joy. I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't thought. And the first thing I thought of was my moment of joy is that it's a short work week. So excited for the 4th of July because I'm going to my favorite beach town with my family. We haven't been in a few years. I had a beach house there as a kid, and we haven't had it for a while. So it's just like nostalgia going there. So my moment of joy is being able to go to the beach with my family to our favorite spot with everyone there. So it hasn't happened yet, but I already know it's going to be my moment of joy for this month.
Okay, what beach?
Amelia Island. It's right off the coast in Florida and Georgia. Really,
Okay.
really small, really historic. It was our little hidden gem when we first went there, and now it's, so big, and they've built all these cool big restaurants. And I'm like, hey, get off my get off my beach.
Get our beach.
Like we would always joke if there was more than like 3 people there when we were there, it was crowded. My mom was like, "Who told everyone about our beach? Like, get out of here." So, but it's Amelia Island. It's really, really neat. I had a short flight into Jacksonville and straight there.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
You should. My favorite place on earth. Oh, I told Megan to go there.
Oh, and I was going to go, I think, for Christmas and New Year's last year, and then so my mom lives in West Palm Beach, and I went there instead because she has a,
Okay, throw West Palm in my face,
Palm
Megan.
Beach.
Clear waters, I get it. We're murky waters in the north, but have it.
No, but I'm gonna go visit for sure. Well, my moment of joy is actually last week I went and visited my mom in West Palm Beach, and we went on a cruise. And I'm not a big cruise girly normally, but it's so fun because it was my mom and like my childhood like friends, and it was just like a good time. So I feel like you can make it like something great when you have the people that are awesome there. So it was just fun. Like we went to the Bahamas,
I
and
forgot you did that. We need to talk about it after. I forgot you did that.
yeah, so it was super, super fun. We went on the Margaritaville cruise, and guys,
Okay.
not sure how it was gonna be, but it was so fun, so clean, and they make a strong drink. I mean, I should have known with Margaritaville, but like sometimes cruises are not like super strong. I feel like it can be kind of so strong. I would recommend it to anyone. I had a great time.
I love cruising.
I love that for you. That's so fun.
So anyways, well, those are all good moments of joy. I feel like we really came up with one on the spot, Kristen. So yeah.
I'm like, what can I be happy about? Having a short work week.
There you go.
So excited about that.
But we're gonna go ahead and get started.
Hot topic.
Our topic today is gonna be all about Allison because
Oh.
all of the things. Me and Kristen came up with a bunch of questions that we're gonna be asking Allison. We told her that she's gonna be in the hot seat. We might come up with some random ones because everybody who watches our show or listens knows that we can go off the rails. So Allison, ready for us?
I guess.
No, they're fine. Okay, so we just want to know, why did you choose the HTM field for your career?
I would probably have to say it chose me.
Aww.
I was always in the sciences. My parents pushed me into the sciences, and I actually wanted to be a pediatrician.
Wow.
Yeah, but I learned in college I'm not a very good test taker, and I was scared to take the MCAT.
Okay.
So with that, I just graduated with my regular bachelor's degree and was just trying to find something to do. So I started actually working in the mall at Forever 21 as a cashier.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And,
love
yeah. And then I worked there and I was a substitute teacher for the high school system.
How did you like that? How did you like that?
Oh my gosh, I actually love teaching. I don't care. I taught ninth graders.
Okay.
Ooh, they're brutal.
They are, but it actually wasn't that bad. I was that teacher walking around the hall and everyone's like, "Well, where's your hall pass? Where's your hall pass?"
Are you the
And I had to keep my badge on me because everyone's like, "Well, where's your hall pass?" I was like, "I'm a teacher." "Well, where's your hall pass?" I'm like, "I'm a teacher." So, but I really did enjoy teaching. With the county I was in, they blamed the teachers for the kids not succeeding, and so I was like, I can't deal with that stress.
Right.
especially when you put in all your heart and all your hard work into making the kids succeed and they just don't care. I was
Mhm.
like, I can't keep doing this. So I actually met another fellow teacher who his wife actually worked for the American Red Cross as a lab tech. So I moved over from teaching to being a lab tech for the American Red Cross National Testing Laboratory. And that was actually pretty fun. Met a lot of great ladies as I was working there. And um, I guess from dealing with the equipment and you spend your days trying to, well, to use the equipment and you want to make sure that your test results come off, that I would watch the field service engineers come in, and they're mainly all males.
Right.
But you would go in and I'll watch them like, hey, well, how does this work? What does that work? And so they will show me certain things. And then I discovered that all the equipment there was managed by a group of ladies. And mind you, it seemed like the whole building was full of ladies.
Oh, wow.
And so I joined a couple years after I was there, I joined their group and it just took off from there.
That's wild. I know I met you. I think it was MD Expo Atlanta your first MD Expo?
And
Okay.
that was all Bryant.
All B-Hawk.
All roads lead to Beehawk, and he's about
Yes,
to
they
text me
do.
and quote me on that and be like, I need that on a t-shirt, and I want profits off of that.
Oh,
He is that person who will meet anybody and will push anybody to succeed. And that's exactly what happened. We actually met on LinkedIn. One of his former bosses was my boss. And so he sent me a message and then we just started talking and we've just been friends ever since.
I love that. No, I was gonna say I can like literally remember meeting you. We were at, I think it was like the leadership summit dinner or something like that that you had come with B-Hawk too. And I remember like him like introducing you and like I feel like we all instantly were like, okay, we're all friends. We
We're
love
all friends, yep.
Makes sense.
But that's one of the things he also mentions to me is the fact that I brought you there and then you just took off. You just left me and made friends with everybody. I was like, yeah.
no, that's awesome. Well, so like tell us a little bit, like as a young professional, what is something that you feel you have brought to the table at your current job? I know that you just went how long have you been at Duke with Ben?
It will be 2 years in August.
Okay. So at your current role, what do you feel that you bring being a younger professional in your role?
Well, I can see things in a different view. Um, a lot of people who are in the industry, you're either been in it for years or you're brand new.
Mm.
So when you've been in it for years, you're normally stuck in one set of ways of how you want something to be done or how to work things out or how to problem solve. As a young professional, I'm able to come in and see it differently and see it from a different angle. And just because it might have been done this way all these years doesn't necessarily mean that that is the right way for it to be done.
Right.
So I spend a lot of my time going around and trying to, um, I guess you could say, be the face of the team so that everybody knows that if you have some problem that you can come and talk to me about it and we'll try to help solve it together.
That's awesome because I know a lot of people like that's a hard thing to do is to have somebody in their career that they trust and like can go and bounce ideas off of. So that's awesome that you can be there for those other people. Have you ever felt like you've got any pushback from other professionals that have been there longer that maybe they didn't like the way you were doing something or handle something?
Um, I'll have to say at Duke, no, I haven't. Um, they are a very supportive team. They are very innovative. So if I have a suggestion, talk to anybody within my leadership or even our leadership, they have no problem of thinking about it and taking into account. Sometimes it just doesn't work. It could just be because of financing or like space of what needs to happen, but they're willing to take it into account.
I feel like
That's
that's very refreshing because I think a lot of
so
people
refreshing.
are like scared to maybe do more or like try to stand out a little bit more in that way, and so I feel like it's really nice. I think it'll be nice for other younger professionals that are just like you in the industry to hear that.
Yeah. So one of my questions that I had, since we're speaking kind of on like some challenges, was what's the biggest challenge for you as a young professional in the HTM industry? Doesn't have to be in your current role, just in general, any challenges that you faced as you were a young professional coming into the field?
Um, I would have to say the biggest challenge was just the fact of being a woman coming into a male dominated field. Um, a lot of times I'll get, especially when I first started, I would get looked at and it's like, oh, what are you coming here to do? Oh, what are you about to do? And oh, are you certain about this? Should you be here? So like for the Red Cross, a lot of phlebotomists were female. So then I come into a blood drive and they're thinking, oh, you're a phlebotomist. I'm like, no, I'm not a phlebotomist. I'm coming here to troubleshoot your system. So they're like, oh, okay, well. Or a lot of people, even now, they'll look at me like, okay, where do you, they'll see me pushing the anesthesia machine or I'm pushing an OR table. And I'm like, oh, are you okay? I was like, yeah, this is what I do. And it's
I'm
like,
not
oh, I'm not lost. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to fix this thing. Or especially is, oh, they also always laugh at me when I'm carrying the ladder. They're like, why, where are you going with this ladder? I was like, I'm coming to fix your OR lights. Like, I'm going to climb the ladder and fix your OR light. They're like, oh, okay.
You said
They're
I'm
like,
just being a boss. I don't know what
Right.
you need from me.
So it's actually gotten, once that shock wears off, it actually gets a whole lot easier. So,
Yeah. I feel like, I mean, Megan and I are both in sales, so it's in our entire company is women, except for John and John, the two Johns. So we have a completely different perspective from that. But even when we go to our shows, though, it is male dominated. And I feel like that's why, especially how we said we just became instant friends. I think a big
hmm
factor of that is just being like young, strong, independent women. Like you just connect with someone like that instantly. Like you can just tell when someone is in your realm and just also putting themselves out there and making sure that they're being the best professional that they can be. And so I think it's so awesome to see. Even since I've started, there's been more women in the
yes,
last almost 4 years that I've been here.
absolutely.
Yeah. Would you agree,
And it's good
Megan?
to see more. It's good to see more and more of them coming to all the shows and things like that.
Yeah.
yeah, no, I totally agree with that. Especially, like with more groups and stuff that are even being women led, like the Women in Leadership group. I know Jewel has a group, like I just feel like
hmm
it's really important for any young professional, women, male, whoever, to come in and see that these people are doing that. But I wanted to ask you, like going back more on the young professional thing, do you feel that there are a large amount of opportunities for young professionals in the HCM industry?
I feel as if, well, there are opportunities. I feel as if there could be more.
Mhm.
Um, it's kind of hard for, well, in my opinion, um, companies to take a chance on the young professionals. One, they feel as if they might not have enough experience and not quite certain about their training. I know some companies prefer those who are trained by the military instead of the community colleges,
Really,
because
before. That's interesting.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
the military training is intense. That
yeah,
schoolhouse is intense.
they are
Right.
like
Um,
the creme de la creme that every
hmm
company is looking for. Is if they see military on their resume, that is moving straight to the top because it is great hands-on experience and, like you
Yes,
said, so intense.
yes. So I feel as if more companies need to take more chances with the
Mhm.
younger professionals because yes, you have your education, your schooling, but you can groom them into the person that will fit what you need them to fit into. Um, it's how can I say? I'm trying to think the best how to say it.
There's no
um,
rules here. Go for it.
right. It's just it's just they're there. I don't want to say mold them, but basically you're molding them into the tech that you need.
Right.
Yeah.
If you want them to fit into a deal with a certain piece of equipment, then you can get them to be a specialist in that piece of equipment.
Mhm.
And so then eventually they can move up to do something more, but it's like a fresh slate for somebody instead of somebody who's been in there for years and they might have different habits that aren't good habits, and they might come in and then continue to spread those bad habits to others. Whereas you have that young professional coming in with not really any experience besides what they learned in school to really mold them into that top professional.
Yeah,
I
that's
yeah.
such a sorry, Megan, that's to cut you off. That's such a good point. That's something Sydney and I, since we, are on the HTM jobs job board, something that we preach on and we try to be advocates for a lot of our candidates because a lot of students do get discouraged. Most are required internships to get a degree, so they do have hands-on experience, but a lot of companies want the, hit the ground running kind of candidate. And a lot of times it's on multiple pieces of equipment that they might need a little bit more experience on. But a lot of our candidates are fast learners and we're like, just give them a chance, train them.
Hmm.
What's 6 months in the longevity of, hopefully a long career with your organization versus having someone come in, move up in a year or two and then leave and you're back at square one.
Yep.
So I completely agree. There are so many positions open, but it is hard, I feel like, for young professionals in HTM to get their foot in the door.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you feel like, more seasoned professionals, they have a harder time maybe trusting that the younger generation is going to do the job that they need them to do? Do you feel like that might give some of the hesitation of maybe hiring some of these people?
I would say it might be. What's the saying? You can't teach an old dog new tricks. So you have those who have been there for a while and they like things their way, and then they don't want the younger generation to come in because they feel as if, oh, they're going to tell me that I'm doing this wrong and this is what needs to happen. And sometimes that's not the case. They're asking all the questions because they want to learn, not because they're saying what you're doing is wrong. They want to absorb that information.
Yeah. Do you feel like sometimes too that maybe they're a little, I think this could be on both ends though. Like the young professionals are intimidated because they're coming in to people that have been doing this maybe for years, almost their whole career life. And on the other hand, you have the seasoned people in there that, like you said, have been doing things a certain way this whole time. And maybe they're scared that maybe this person's going to come in that's way younger than me, way more energetic, is going to be like, basically will do anything just to like maybe prove themselves or show that they have a good work ethic and things. And it's really hard, I feel like, to get to that balancing point between both a lot of times.
It is. You have a lot of people who feel like, oh, they're coming to take my job, so I can't teach them anything. I don't
Right.
want to teach them anything because they're going to take my job and take what's mine, and then I'm going to be out. Then they're going to push me out the door, and they're all just trying to push me out the door. Um, so I have seen that before, as well as the fact of the young people. They'll come in and because they don't quite know what to do, they just sit on the corner and they'll sit there and they'll wait for somebody to sit up here and show them around or push them and say, hey, come here, instead of taking that initiative to be like, okay, let me follow around with you. But that's where you have to have that leadership amongst the group to show that, and you have the open communication that shows that we're all here together. We're
Mhm.
here to train this person up because this person also needs to know what's going on. And just because you're training them doesn't necessarily mean that your foot's out the door now. We still need you because you have that experience. We need that mentorship and that additional leadership from you to help push the younger generation so they can move up. Because eventually that person is going to be out the door and because they're going to retire. So we need to make sure that we can continue to maintain the organization when that older generation is out for the newer generation, and then the newer generation becomes the older generation, and then we have another new generation.
It's a cycle and
It's
it
just a cycle.
Oh, Kristen, do you have any other questions for Allison?
yeah, the last question that I had, and I think this might definitely spin off into multiple conversations, like, but what's some advice that you would give a new professional entering in the workforce?
Ask questions.
Yeah.
Ask questions. Um, Take that initiative. You're going to step out your comfort zone. You're coming into a field of people who know a lot. So pick their brains. If you see them get up to go work on some piece of equipment, say, hey, can I follow behind you? Be that person just to hold the screwdriver for them. Um, just take that first step. Don't be that person in the corner, because then eventually people are gonna be like, I don't think we really want you here.
Yeah.
I think what you're saying is great advice for anybody in your industry, but any industry that's listening to us right now, because I feel like so many young professionals are scared to mess up, or
Hmm.
and I feel like messing up is how I've learned how to do things.
You're
So I
right.
wish people would just not be scared to mess up, because we all mess up. I mess up every day.
Literally every single day. Even when I'm trying not to, I do. Like, that's just how it is. But I agree, like, I would rather ask a question than do it wrong and have to do it all over again. Like, I don't understand the thought process of like, let me try to figure it on my own and just like panic when there's someone 5 feet away that you can get guidance from.
Hmm. I always had big things on my phone a friend. Like
Uh,
sometimes it does work out to take a piece of equipment. All right, you never seen it before. Get the manual. Read the manual. But then sometimes from reading the manual, you might still be confused. So phone a friend. Find somebody that can help you out with that next step. But don't just sit there and continue struggling for hours, hours, and hours on end. And then you start getting frustrated. Then you'll get burned out, and then you'll be like, well, maybe this job isn't for me.
yeah, that's a good point. And then you waste your whole day on
Hmm.
one thing, on one task. So, yeah, I feel like that applies to any industry, like you said, Megan. Like, I remember when I first started, I was like, I'm gonna ask as many questions as I can, and y'all are gonna probably be annoyed, especially like our web team. I know nothing about web. I'm a gift of the gab. All I do is talk. So I had to ask our web person a million questions. She's probably the busiest person at our company. I felt horrible, but I would always be like, hey, quick question, how does this work? And she would be like, no problem here. You don't have to say thank you every single time. Sorry, thank you. Sorry, didn't mean to bother you, but what? And she's like, here, just take it. So I think that is like such an important piece of information.
Hmm.
Allison, I feel like we didn't even get to like barely anything with you, but we are running out of time. So I wanted to see, would you be okay if maybe some of our people, if they had any other questions for you or ever wanted any advice, if they reach out to you?
Oh, absolutely. You already know I'm on LinkedIn, so just send me a message, just find me. We can connect. I have no problem with that.
Well, we appreciate that. And I mean, we're so thankful for you and what you've done for our young professional group. And I'm so glad that we could have you be our first YP of the year, which was awesome on that. But we're thankful to have you in the industry. That's all I want to say. Kristen, is there anything else?
No, I think next time we'll see you is what, MD Expo? Or are you going to be at the one in Connecticut?
I'm going to try, yes.
Hopefully we can see you
Yeah,
there.
absolutely, yes.
Well, good. Well, thanks, Allison. We appreciate you again. And guys, please go follow Allison on LinkedIn. We'll put all of her where you can find her in our comments and description on our video. But guys, we will see you actually for our 1 year anniversary in August of Girls on Fire, which is
Woo!
Kristen.
Let's go. That's crazy.
I can't believe we've had this for 1 year, and we are going to get into it in August. Kristen and I will be together because we will be at HRA August 4th through 7th, I believe. So make sure you come see us with Ice, and then Kristen will be there. So we're excited, guys. Almost 1 year of Girls on Fire.
Y'all need to get some buttons.
We need stuff. Look, Allison, I have been fighting for merch for so long. I just want one, just actually two. All we need is two sweatshirts with our little caricature logo on it.
Hmm.
That's it. And we can wear it at shows. People already recognize us. The red
Yes.
hair, it's kind of hard to hide. So that's how we do it. But I can't believe it's been a year. Yeah, Allison, this is so fun. Thank you for joining us for real.
Absolutely. And when anytime y'all need me, I'm here.
We'll definitely take you up on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we will see you next month. I hope everybody has a great July. Bye.